There's a truth nobody wants to hear. And it's going to make you uncomfortable. You're not broke because of bad luck. You're not broke because the system is rigged. You're not even broke because you lack opportunity. You're broke because of the people you've allowed into your inner circle. Specifically, that one friend. The one who always has a reason why things won't work. The one who celebrates your struggles but goes quiet when you succeed. The one who keeps you comfortable in mediocrity because your growth threatens their comfort. That friend is costing you more than you realize. Not just money, but vision, energy, future. There's a law at work here. A silent, powerful law that most people ignore until it's too late. It's called the law of environment. And it says this: you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Not sometimes. Not maybe. Always. Your income will average out to theirs. Your mindset will mirror theirs. Your habits will blend with theirs. Your future will look a lot like theirs. And if those 5 people are broke, struggling, and stuck, guess what you'll be? This isn't about being cruel. This isn't about abandoning people. This is about waking up to a reality that most people refuse to face. Your friendships are either lifting you or lowering you. There is no neutral. Every conversation you have either expands your thinking or contracts it. Every person you spend time with either challenges you to grow or enables you to stay the same. And that toxic friend, they're not neutral. They're an anchor, holding you down while pretending to care. Here's how you know. They say things like, "Be realistic." That'll never work. People like us don't do that. You're changing. And that last one, "you're changing," is the most dangerous. Because they say it like it's a bad thing. Like growth is betrayal. Like becoming better means you're leaving them behind. And the truth is, you are. Not because you want to hurt them, but because staying the same is no longer an option for you. You've tasted something different. A vision. Possibility. A version of yourself that refuses to settle. And they can feel it. They can sense that you're slipping away from the comfort zone you both once shared. And instead of celebrating that, they sabotage it. Subtly. With jokes that sting. With doubt disguised as concern. With negativity wrapped in just being honest. But here's what they won't tell you. They're not trying to protect you. They're trying to protect themselves. From the mirror you're holding up. The mirror that shows them what they're not willing to become. And the longer you stay close to them, the more their fear becomes your ceiling. You start to dim your dreams. You start to lower your standards. You start to accept good enough, because excellence feels lonely. And that's exactly how they keep you poor. Not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Poverty isn't just about money. It's about settling for less than what you're capable of. And toxic people are experts at making you believe that less is all you deserve. So here's the hard question you need to ask yourself. Who in your life is keeping you broke? Not by taking your money, but by draining your belief. Who is feeding you doubt when you need encouragement? Who is pulling you back when you're trying to move forward? Who makes you feel guilty for wanting more? And once you identify them, you have a choice. A choice most people avoid because it feels harsh. But it's not harsh. It's necessary. You can either protect the relationship or protect your future. You cannot do both. Let's talk about what happens when you finally make the shift. When you stop protecting toxic friendships and start protecting your vision. First, it feels lonely. And that's okay. Loneliness is not a sign you made the wrong choice. It's a sign you're in transition. You're in the space between who you were and who you're becoming. And that space is sacred. It's where transformation happens. It's where you stop being shaped by others and start being shaped by your purpose. Second, you'll notice something powerful. New people start to show up. Not by accident, but by alignment. When you raise your standards, you attract people who match them. When you commit to growth, you magnetize others who are on the same path. The universe doesn't reward you for staying small. It rewards you for stepping into your truth. And part of that truth is this: not everyone is meant to go with you. Some people are seasonal. They were there for a chapter, not the whole book. And trying to keep them in your story past their season only delays your next chapter. Third, you'll feel lighter. Like a weight has been lifted. Because it has. You've released the emotional burden of carrying people who refuse to carry themselves. You've stopped apologizing for your growth. You've stopped shrinking to make others comfortable. And in that space, you finally have room to breathe, room to dream, room to build. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you become cold or ruthless. It means you love people enough to let them go when staying connected is hurting you both. Because here's the thing about toxic friendships. They don't just hurt you, they hurt them too. When you enable someone's negativity by staying in their orbit, you're not helping them. You're participating in their stagnation. Real love sometimes looks like distance. Real care sometimes sounds like no. And real friendship honors growth, even when it means growing apart. So how do you protect yourself moving forward? You become intentional about your environment. You curate your circle like your life depends on it. Because it does. You stop giving everyone access. You stop being available to energy that drains you. You stop letting people guilt you into relationships that no longer serve your purpose. And you start surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, hold you accountable. Celebrate your wins without jealousy. Support your vision even when they don't fully understand it. People who are building, not complaining. People who are learning, not blaming. People who are growing, not stuck. Because those are the people who will help you rise. Not by doing the work for you, but by reflecting back the greatness you're capable of. And here's what's beautiful about this. When you change your environment, you don't just change your circumstances. You change your identity. You start to see yourself differently. You start to believe differently. You start to act differently. And those new actions create new results. Better results. Results that align with the future you've been dreaming about. The law of environment is not a suggestion. It's a reality. And you can either let it work against you by staying in toxic relationships, or you can let it work for you by choosing your circle wisely. The choice is yours. But know this: your future is watching what you choose today. So here's your invitation. Stop defending relationships that are costing you your future. Stop protecting connections that drain more than they give. Stop making excuses for people who show up only when it's convenient for them, but disappear when you need support. Stop feeling guilty for outgrowing people who refuse to grow. Guilt is not loyalty. Guilt is fear dressed up as love. And fear has no place in the life you're building. Stop waiting for permission to protect your peace, your vision, your energy. No one is going to give you that permission. You have to claim it. You have to decide, right now, that your future matters more than other people's comfort. Start being brutally honest about who's helping and who's hurting. Not based on how long you've known them. Not based on history or shared memories. But based on this simple question: is this person making me better, or just making me comfortable? Because comfort is not the same as growth. Comfort keeps you where you are. Growth moves you where you need to be. Start making space for people who match your ambition, not your excuses. People who ask, how can we make this happen? Instead of, why won't this work? People who celebrate your wins like they're their own. People who hold you accountable when you slip, not enable you when you quit. Those are the people worth keeping. Everyone else is just noise. Start choosing yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of deep responsibility for the life you're here to build. Choosing yourself is not about abandoning others. It's about honoring the calling inside you. The one that whispers, you're meant for more. The one that refuses to let you settle. The one that keeps pulling you forward, even when it's uncomfortable. Because you cannot become who you're meant to be while surrounded by people who need you to stay who you were. They need your old self. Your small self. Your safe self. Because your old self doesn't challenge them. Your old self doesn't make them question their own choices. Your old self keeps them comfortable in their stagnation. But you're not that person anymore. And pretending to be, just to keep the peace, is killing your future. You cannot rise while holding on to anchors. An anchor doesn't move. It doesn't grow. It doesn't evolve. It just sits there, heavy, pulling you down every time you try to move forward. And some people in your life are anchors. Not because they're bad people, but because they've chosen to stay stuck. And they want you to stay stuck with them. You cannot build wealth, real wealth in every sense, while tolerating poverty mindsets in your inner circle. Wealth isn't just money. It's abundance of thought, abundance of belief, abundance of possibility. It's clarity about who you are and where you're going. It's freedom to make choices that align with your purpose, not other people's expectations. It's peace that comes from knowing you're on the right path, even when it's the lonely path. It's purpose so strong that no amount of negativity can shake it. And none of that can thrive in a toxic environment. None of that can grow when you're constantly defending your dreams to people who don't believe in them. None of that can flourish when you're surrounded by voices that say, be realistic, when what you really need is someone who says, go bigger. So let today be the day you make the shift. Let this be the moment you stop settling for friendships that feel familiar but keep you stuck. Familiar is not always good. Sometimes familiar is just another word for safe. And safe is the enemy of great. Let yourself release the guilt. The guilt that says, but we've been friends forever. The guilt that says, they need me. The guilt that says, what will they think? Let it go. Because your future is more important than their opinion. Your growth is more valuable than their comfort. Your purpose is more sacred than their approval. Let yourself step into the uncomfortable space of growth, where you don't have all the answers, where you feel alone sometimes, where you question if you made the right choice. That discomfort is not a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're evolving. Let yourself choose the future over the past. The past is where you learned. The future is where you're going. And you can't drive forward if you're always looking in the rearview mirror. You are not obligated to stay loyal to people who are not loyal to your growth. Loyalty is a beautiful thing. But misplaced loyalty is a trap. Real loyalty honors both people. It doesn't require one person to shrink so the other can feel big. It doesn't demand sacrifice at the expense of your soul. You are not required to carry people who refuse to walk on their own. Some people don't want help. They want company in their misery. And staying there with them doesn't help them. It just ensures you both stay stuck. You are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to create boundaries that preserve your peace. You are allowed to guard your vision. To keep it safe from people who don't understand it. To nurture it in silence until it's strong enough to withstand criticism. You are allowed to build a life that reflects your highest potential. Even if that means walking away from people who can't celebrate it. Even if that means being misunderstood. Even if that means being called selfish. Because you're not selfish. You're intentional. And there's a difference. And when you do, when you finally commit to curating your circle with intention, something miraculous happens. You stop being broke. Not just financially, though that often follows. But in every way that matters. You become rich in vision. You start seeing possibilities instead of obstacles. You start believing in yourself again. Rich in peace. You stop carrying the weight of other people's drama. You stop losing sleep over relationships that were never meant to last. Rich in purpose. You wake up with clarity about what you're here to do. You move with conviction, not confusion. Rich in relationships that actually add value instead of draining it. Relationships built on mutual respect. Relationships that challenge you to be better. Relationships that feel like fuel, not friction. That's the life waiting for you. Not someday. Not when everything is perfect. Today. Right now. In this moment. The moment you decide that your future is worth more than your comfort. The moment you choose growth over guilt. The The moment you step into the truth that you were never meant to stay small. So decide. Make the choice. Not tomorrow. Not next week.
No.
Choose your circle wisely. Protect your environment fiercely. Guard it like your life depends on it. Because it does. And watch. Watch how quickly your life transforms when you stop letting toxic people write your story. Watch how the right people start showing up. Watch how opportunities begin to align. Watch how your confidence returns. Watch how your vision becomes clearer. Watch how your future becomes inevitable. Your legacy begins where your courage meets your boundaries. Where you finally say, enough. Where you finally choose yourself. Where you finally become the person you've always known you could be. That person is waiting. Your future is waiting. The only question is, are you ready to step into it?